So today we're going to talk about rounding. Now, rounding is really not so hard, and we're going to talk about why it's useful. But let's talk about how you do it first. 3 things that you need to remember. First thing you have to do is you look at what you're being asked to round to. You locate that digit. Remember your place value. If you have trouble, put your number into your place value chart and you'll be able to find that number. Okay, so if it's 10 thousandths on your place value, look at the 10 thousandths digit and then go from there. Then you look at the digit to the right and then you're going to either round up or you're going to round down. So the question is, do we round up or do we round down? And then after you round, all the other digits become a 0. So, round up or down? Well, there's 2 different ways that you can do it, but it's always understood, unless you say otherwise, if the number is less than 5, so 4, 3, 2, or 1, you round down. Meaning what? Well, it's actually easier for me to show you. If I have a number that's 534, and I want to round off this 3 digit. So I look to the right and I see that I have this 4. Well, that's less than 5, so I'm going to round down. What does that mean? That means that the 3 is going to stay the same, and this 4 now becomes a 0. So 30 is less than 34, and that's why it's called rounding down. Okay, and that's the type of rounding that we're going to do. There's other types of rounding that you can do, but not important for us. So what do you do when it's bigger than 5 or a 5 or greater? Let's look at 500. Let's pretend that this was a 5. All right, so since it's 5 or greater, in this case it's just 5, we're going to have a 5 here. The 100 stays the same. Well, now we're going to round up. And that means we change the 3 to a 4, and then the leftover digits are still 0. And so this is the difference between rounding down and rounding up. So here's a big number, 263,978. And we want to round to the nearest 10,000. So again, remember, you can use your place value chart, put this number in it, and find where the 10,000ths place is. Well, I already know it's this guy right here. And I want to round it to the nearest 10,000. So I'm going to round up or I'm going to round down. Let's look at what we want to do. So I've found my digit. That's step number 1. Step number 2 is I look to the right digit, the digit right beside it, which is 3. And this 3 is less than 5. So that means I'm going to round down. Well, that means rounding down, this guy stays the same. Everything else becomes a 0. So I have 4 0 placeholders. 260,000 is rounded to the nearest 10,000. It really is just that simple. So how about a bigger number? You know, you get asked to round off bigger numbers all the time. Don't let it scare you. Go ahead and impress whoever it is that asks you, because you are going to know how to do it. You follow the same steps every time. It's simply looking at the digit you need to round and then round up or down. So to the nearest 100. So this is a big number, just to throw you off a little bit. What's the hundreds? Well, we know what the hundreds is. It's right here. Okay, again, place value chart. If you need it, use it. It's what it's there for. So if we look beside and we see that this is equal to 5, this time, instead of rounding down, we're going to round up, because 5 or greater, we always round up. So the 7 has to be rounded up, so it becomes an 8. So everything else stays the same before it, and the rest of the digits become 0. So 6,589,755 rounded to the nearest 100 is 6,589,800. Again, big number, but not so hard to figure out. Okay, round 399,865 to the nearest 1,000 this time. Well, again, we look for our digit in the thousandths position, and the digit just to the right of it, in this case, happens to be an 8, and 8 is greater than 5. So that means we round up. So the reason why this one's interesting, what happens when you round from a 9 and you round up? That means it becomes 10. Well, have you ever seen a number where you write it like this and this digit's place becomes a 10? And then, let's see, and this would become a 0? Well, you can't have two digits in one digit spot. So you're going to have to carry, much like when you add and when you add and you have to carry over, we're going to carry. So we're going to leave the 0 and we're going to add 1 there. So 9 plus 1 is 10. Ooh. Again, we have a problem. Can't have two digits in a single digit spot. So we're going to have to carry one more time. So we're going to write a 0 in that spot, and we're going to carry the 1. So 3 plus 1 is 4, and we keep these zeros. 400,000. So 399,865, when we round it up, becomes 400,000. That is truly as tricky as it gets. And that is all about rounding whole numbers.